What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 767 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo to start your week off on the right foot. We got a fun episode here as the Phillies come away with a massive, and I mean absolutely massive, sweep of the Texas Rangers. We have Philadelphia Eagles preseason to kind of put a nice little bow on as the Eagles beat the Bengals. We'll talk a little Tanner McKee. We will also talk Eagles open practice as that all went down, and the amount of money that was earned for the Eagles Autism Challenge is true to roof. And on top of that, the Philadelphia Waterdogs are in the postseason, everybody. So we'll touch on the Dogs headed to the quarterfinals of the PLL playoffs, what that means, why you should get behind them as they go on a quest for their second PLL championship in franchise history. Before we get into everything, yes, I am wearing a vintage black porthole mesh Reebok Takeo Spikes Eagles jersey. Thank you for noticing. It is absolute heat. Takeo Spikes, one of my favorite NFL players. The fact that he played for the Eagles for a year makes him that much more in that conversation as one of my favorite players of all time. And I just had to get his jersey, and I'll be rocking this a bunch. I absolutely love this thing. So shout out to Takeo Spikes. Open invite to come on the podcast whenever. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground Sports Philadelphia. Oh, my back almost cracked. Follow us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Help keeping us grow. We're trying to take this thing to the fucking moon. So keep following us on the socials at Underground PHI. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311, KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It helps this show continue to grow, takes it to new levels, and it also helps all of our shows here on the network continue to elevate and reach new heights. And of course, guys, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, every single week. Full video episodes of every show on our network. Clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. We are 7 subscribers away from 1,100. Let's hit that milestone this week. Let's make it happen. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And like I said, smash that subscribe button. And this show, guys, is proudly presented by the city of Vineland, and the city of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always a growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before I even get into everything, I just got to say, I just did that City of Vineland ad read off the top of the dome. Didn't even look at the script. The brain is braining, and I'm recording this bright and early in the morning. Look at that. The Phils, baby. The fighting Phils. They go down to Arlington, and they not only win one, they not only win two, they win all 3 games down there in Texas against the Texas Rangers. And I got to say, I was thoroughly impressed with the Detroit Tigers series that happened during Alumni Weekend. You know, they won 2 out of 3. A very good baseball team, the Detroit Tigers are. So to win 2 out of 3 at home with all of the elevated home, ambiance from Alumni Weekend and everything, and Wall of Fame activity and stuff like that, you never know how a team is going to respond. And for the Phillies to go out and win 2 out of 3, especially one of those games being on Sunday Night Baseball to win the series, I thought was a wildly impressive series win. I think that and this Texas Rangers series are the 2 best series wins of the year so far. Texas has always been a house of horrors for the Phillies. They have never had success there. They won their first game in nearly 9 years, over 9 years, I want to say. In that first game on Friday night when they won 9-1, they squeak one out on Saturday 3-2, and then they win on Sunday 4-2. The fact that they won all 3 games, the way that they won them, they never quit. They battled. They pitched really well for the most part. You know, Zach Wheeler labored through 5 innings. I'll say that. He didn't look his best, but he still had 7 strikeouts. But the bullpen backed him up. Tanner Banks did his thing. Matt Strom did his thing. Orion Kerkering, John Duran closed it out. I'm thoroughly impressed with this series. This is a mile marker series win for me here for the Phils against the Rangers. You know, final leg of that long streak of playing American League teams. First part of a road trip to kick that off on a weekend. You know, that's a 10-game road trip as well, where you're not going to be back home until August 18th. Great way to kind of get the vibes going of this road trip and kind of set the tone for where you want to be. And I truly think that this will be a series we look back on inevitably when everything is said and done, and we hope the Phillies are hoisting the Commissioner's Trophy and are crowned World Series champions. We'll look back at this series and be like, that was a key series that really told us the tail of the tape was that Rangers series. It was that Tigers series. Like there's going to be those, linchpin moments that really make us think back this season, and we have fond memories about it. This Rangers series is going to be that. I was wildly impressed with how they battled, how they won all of these games. Christopher Sanchez was spectacular in the first game. Jesus Luzardo, he battled through, but 6 strong innings, 4 strikeouts, did his thing. And then, obviously, like I said, Zach Wheeler pitched. Not his best stuff, but he performed well enough to get the win in the pitcher's battle against Patrick Corbin. So, great series win for the Phils, and it's just another series win. You know, you lose that White Sox series when everyone in the big J Journo media was calling the season over after the Phillies lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox, just for them to go on and now win 3 straight series against the Tigers, Orioles, and Rangers. And now you go to Cincinnati to try to keep that streak going. And, Cincinnati is a team that the Phillies have had success against, but it's been like weird success, I feel like. There's always those weird games against Cincinnati. Just go out and take care of business against the Reds, and I'll feel real good about where this team sits. And on top of that, the way that this team is playing just feels so different compared to last year. At this point in the season, it feels different even to 2023 to some degree. And obviously feels a lot different than 2022 because they were battling in the last day of the season to even get into the playoffs. But, like, the Mets continue to collapse as the Phillies continue to rise above and gain ground in the division and kind of have this cushion here. But it doesn't feel like they're getting complacent with where they are in the standings, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like the Phillies are, oh, we're this far up in the standings, let me go ahead and kind of take my foot off the gas pedal. That's what it would have been last year. It doesn't feel that way right now, which is a great sign for where this team is, quite frankly. And overall, I genuinely feel like this team is hitting their stride when they need to. Like, we're heading into mid-August just about, and over the next month and a half, you really want to see this team round into form, start playing some of their best baseball, but not exactly all of their best baseball, because you want to be playing your best, obviously, in October. But you still have a lot of key series, down the stretch here. That Mariners series, when you come off this road trip, is not going to be easy. That's going to be a difficult home series to kick off a homestand. You still have to go to Citi Field to play the Mets. The Braves are always the Braves. No matter how good, bad, or in between they are, you still have to take them very seriously. They come to Philadelphia for 4 games. You have to go to Milwaukee to start off the month of September. That is no tall task with the way the Brewers are playing right now. You still have to go to Miami again, and that's a team that's been super hot here in the second half and has always been a thorn in our side to go down to Miami. The Mets come here for 4. The Royals come here for 3. Then you have to go to L.A. and Arizona before Miami comes back to Philadelphia, and then the Twins. There's a lot of difficult series still on this schedule for the Phillies, and I really am proud of the way that this team is playing. They're not getting complacent. They're still pitching extremely well. They're hitting the ball when they have timely hitting right now. And I think that's so key. In years past during this era of Phillies baseball, it's been a lot of just like home run hitting and relying on the big inning, relying on the deep ball. This team feels like they just have timely hitting. You can never really count their offense out right now, especially coming out of this break from the All-Star break. Like, they're hitting, in years past, it felt like once it got past like the 6th inning, it was like boom or bust on whether or not they were going to be able to score runs. Now it's like they'll put together a nice little rally in the 7th inning, in the 8th inning, in the 9th inning, and really come into form. And it's a never say die type of mentality. And that's what you want. That's truly what separates the good teams from the bad teams, is when they're so locked in that any inning can be their inning. It's truly like, if you're leaving Phillies games early, I'm judging you because you don't know what the final result is going to be if they somehow find themselves trailing. I think I saw a stat, one of the games during the Rangers series, if the Phillies have been leading through 7, they're 55-2 this year. And I think 56-2 after Sunday's game. The fact that you are 56-2 in games where you're leading after the 7th inning or by the 7th inning, I forget what the exact stat was, but it was something involving the 7th inning. It was either at the 7th inning or through 7. They're 56-2 now. That's crazy success for building a lead and holding it. And I know the bullpen has been very questionable before the trade deadline. It was questionable throughout parts of the early go of the season. They've really rounded into form, okay? Orion Kerkering has been great. Yes, Matt Strahm has had hiccups of letting guys get on base, but for the most part, he's been solid. Tanner Banks has been great. And now you got Joan Duran. You have David Robertson coming in as well. You'll have Jose Alvarado back for the start of the Mariners series. This bullpen is one of the best bullpens we have ever seen. And it's crazy how much of a facelift the trade deadline did for that, and how much, signing a guy like David Robertson has done for that, where it just lengthens out your bullpen. And when Aaron Nola is back, like Taijuan Walker could potentially be back in the bullpen. Playoffs roll around, potentially Jesus Luzardo or Ranger Suarez are in the bullpen. Like, going and getting Joan Duran, going and getting David Robertson, Max Lazar's development, Tanner Banks being as dynamic as he's been this season as well, have all really been subplots of this Phillies season storyline. And on top of that, like, they don't even have their full complement of offense right now. Like, Alec Boehm is not back yet. And I mentioned that on the last episode I recorded. Like, once he's back in the lineup, that's going to lengthen a lot of things out too. And who knows, you know? And Boehmer, like, I think they miss Boehm's defense more than his offense right now. And he was hitting damn near 280 when he went on the injured list. Like, that's a testament to just how awesome he is at third base. And I think once they get that shored up again and are able to consistently play him at third base, consistently, you know, have guys coming off the bench that are having to play right now every single day, is going to lengthen the bench. It's going to make things more dynamic for Rob Thompson and Kevin Long and make this lineup formidable. And, you know, my tip of the cap here, brought to you by our awesome pals over at 47. We love 47 here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's our official headwear partner. Guys, I've been rocking 47 for as long as I can remember, for over a decade now. From the hats to the apparel, it's truly second to none. I love being able to represent 47. It's a company I have believed in from day one of even knowing they existed. They're the most comfortable hats in the game. I love the hitch style, the hitch relaxed fit style as well. They have so many different options for your favorite sports teams. Go check them out. Use our link in the description. Shop with 47. And when you join the 47 family, you'll get free shipping on all orders. Which, I mean, if it's free, it's for me. So use our link in the description, join the 47 family, and get free shipping on all orders. And we thank 47 for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia.
So what we getting done today?
The usual.
My mama told me before I left my town. My mama told me
Perfect.
I'm going home.
My tip of the cap goes to the Philadelphia Phillies. It's not every day that you kind of exercise some demons and go and sweep a team that has given you hell, has given you nightmares for years and years and years. So for them to go down to Texas and pop off for a series sweep the way that they did is a job well done by the Fightin' Phils. And also a pseudo tip of the cap to the New York Mets for just continuing to collapse. They are free-falling. They continue to just find brand new ways to lose games. I know they've been playing the red-hot Milwaukee Brewers. When you have leads like the Mets have had lead, they blew 5-0 leads. They blew multiple, late-inning leads in that series against the Brewers. You got to find a way to hunker down if you're the Mets. And I'm glad they're not. It brings me immense joy to see them free fall, to see them sputter, and to see them just continue to have this collapse and allow the Phillies to build up enough of a cushion to feel comfortable going into some of these series, knowing that you still have 7 games against the Mets remaining throughout the remainder of this season, and you're building up enough of a lead that, if you drop a couple games here and there, it's not necessarily going to hurt you all that much. You don't want to do it, but it's baseball. It's inevitably going to happen. But it brings me immense joy, and I got to just give a tip of the cap to the New York Mets, baby. Who would have thunk I'd be tipping my cap to the New York Mets, because those boys are absolutely sputtering, and it's just a sight to behold and something I absolutely love. It's something I absolutely love to see, okay? I love to see it. But a great series sweep, a great win, and now it's on to Cincinnati. Get out of there scot-free, win the series again, win another series, go down to D.C., take a series sweep from them because that's a team that you should be able to sweep, and then come on home to the best fans in baseball. That's how I see it. That's how I see things, with this road trip is stay healthy, dominate your opponents, and who knows, maybe we'll go 10-0 on this road trip, and we'll see what shakes out. But a great start to this road trip from the Fightin' Phils. Before I keep on going talking about the Birds, want to talk to you guys about our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, there's no better place to stand out in the crowd than the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Check out all the Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merch, plus all your favorite Philly sports team merch from the Eagles, the Phillies, the Flyers, the Sixers, the Union, and so much more. Use the link in the description or go to phiapparel.co. And when you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your next merch order. Again, that's phiapparel.co, code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your next merch order. And stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Philadelphia Eagles, dominant preseason win. A nice little 30-piece on the heads of the Cincinnati Bengals. And I got to say, I was super impressed, especially in the first quarter, just catching everything going on during that game, because Tanner McKee and the Eagles reserves were out there dishing, dunking, and demolishing the first-team Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow playing in the preseason. Bengals starting defense playing in the preseason. Tanner McKee carving them up. Will Shipley carving them up. Tush pushing on their asses. Okay, great win for the Birds. They showcased a lot in this game, and I think the biggest takeaway is that this offense is going to be so dynamic this year. Even with Kellen Moore departing and going to New Orleans, I think Kevin Patullo has all the tools. He's got all the pieces on the chessboard, from Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith to Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and more, to really have a dynamic, fun, and exciting offense this year. And to see what they were doing with just a vanilla offense, pretty much. That's all you really run in the preseason. And Tanner McKee slinging nearly 300 yards on the heads of the Cincinnati Bengals. Will Shipley and the boys running amok on them. And then the defense, doing their thing. They're kind of getting their feet under them. A lot of the young guys playing in this one, you're kind of showcasing your talents for, depth spots, spot starts, whatever it may be on this defense with Vic Fangio, because there still are a ton of guys returning from last year's defense. Definitely want to see some improvements from some of the young guys. Keely Ringo really got burned by Jamar Chase. It is Jamar Chase, but nonetheless, really got burned on one. And I love Keely. I want him to succeed, but he's definitely, he would say he's got to be better. So not all too concerned, but definitely want to clean some things up for sure on the defensive side of things. But the offense is going to be unbelievable. I can't wait to see them just absolutely run ripshod all over the faces of opposing defenses, because I think that's genuinely what's going to happen. I think that it's one of those things that when you have your entire starting offense back, like nobody on the offense outside of Mekhi Becton left, and from all intents, like all reports and all looks and talks from players, media people, coaches, Tyler Steen has really taken a step forward at right guard. And I think that's going to be a massive piece of this Eagles offensive line is who fills in that right guard position, which always seems to be the spot that like the Eagles have open. They've had franchise guys at every single position except right guard. That seems to be the spot where we like revitalize careers and then they go on and play elsewhere. But nonetheless, a great win against the Bengals. It's the preseason. I'm not putting an insane stock in it. My excitement level about the offense from watching the preseason to where it was before the preseason, I say probably went from like on a scale of 1 to 5, like from like 2.5 stars of like where my excitement level is ranked now, I'm not ready for football just yet, by the way. Like, yes, I got the Eagles garb on right now, but like it's still baseball season, okay? Don't get it twisted. Don't rush my summer away. But it probably went to like a 3.8 watching the offense with backups kind of performing the way that they were. It was exciting. And that's a great sign for what's to come for this Eagles offense. And then on top of that, open practice was unbelievable. Seeing all the sights and sounds from open practice, it was the biggest one yet. And they raised, I think, over $630,000 for the Eagles Autism Challenge, which is just unbelievable. Kudos to everybody that went to open practice. They sold it out. First one to ever sell out in my recollection. I'm pretty sure. So that's also just insane to think about, that this is the first open practice sellout. But guess what? When you're the defending champs, people want to come see you, even if it's for practice. Landon Dickerson gets injured, and hopefully he's okay. Kind of landed awkwardly on his leg and had to be helped off the field. Was in the cart in the front seat. I talked to our unofficial injury expert, the OG, my dad, who, if you don't know, he's a physical therapist assistant and wound care specialist. He's very like medical savvy, okay? And he said, number one, if it was overly serious, they wouldn't have allowed him to walk off the field the way that they did. They would have brought the car out to him. And there were photos of Landon being able to bend his knee. So that's a huge, sign of a positive rather than a negative. And we got to remember, like, Landon Dickerson's a big dude. So seeing a big dude fall and land awkwardly like that, it can be bad. Don't get me wrong. But it can also be something that, like, almost, for lack of a better term, like, gets over-exaggerated because he is such a massive human being that it almost mimics, like, just a regular fall for the normal human. So hopefully Landon is okay. Sending our best to Landon, and we'll see. It's not great that it's happening now, like, a couple weeks before the season, but nonetheless, I think Landon will be okay. I trust my dad's knowledge, his big brain up there. But open practice looked insane. And we were going to go and film some man on the street content, myself and intern Jacob, but the traffic from open practice, on top of everything going on with SEPTA, #FunSEPTA, on top of there being a concert at Citizens Bank Park for an artist that I will not name, simply because I don't support that dude whatsoever, and it blows my mind that people continue to support said artist with his track record of putting his hands on women. And being arrested for it, having a record for it. It's not a one-time thing, and even if it was a one-time thing, it's terrible. But he's a repeat offender, and I will never condone that. As somebody who has a younger sister, as somebody who has, a very strong, independent mother in my life, who is a huge part of my life, anybody that puts their hands on a woman, I have zero respect for you, okay? Zero. There's no need for it. And the fact that we're in 2025 and we still have people dishing out their hard-earned money for a guy who does that, who is on the record doing that, who was arrested just a short few months ago for doing said thing, I got nothing for you. It does not sit right with me. People have been coming at me for that take. I'm not talking about the music, guys. I haven't listened to this person in a long time, and I'm not talking about their music. I'm talking about them as a person. Not a good person, okay? Sorry to break it to you. Sorry that you feel that way, okay? But combined with the traffic from that monstrosity and open practice as well. We decided to kind of nix it, unfortunately. But it looked like it was absolute scenes. And if you were at open practice, shoot us photos. We would love to see where you were sitting, anything that you got signed or anything. We'd love to see it. We'll repost it everywhere, and all that good stuff. But yeah, open practice, preseason are here, and there's nothing better to pair with some football than our friends at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Maryland, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. Last bit here, our Philadelphia Waterdogs are in the postseason. They unfortunately lose 20-19 in the final week of the regular season to the New York Atlas. But because their score differential, they lost the game by less than 2. They are in the postseason. They do not qualify for the championship series in February, but the Waterdogs are in the postseason. They will be the 3 seed in the East. The league has a bye this upcoming week, but next weekend, so not this coming weekend, the following, August 23rd, I believe is the date, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, August 23rd, so 2 Saturdays. Not this coming Saturday, the following. The Waterdogs will be in the playoffs in Minneapolis, taking on the Maryland Whipsnakes for the 3rd time this season. They split the regular season series. The Waterdogs won their first game of the year in Charlotte against the Whipsnakes, and then in Fairfield, they fell victim to the Whipsnakes after not being able to score for 20-plus minutes. Things that I like. The Waterdogs punched their ticket. They're in the postseason. Anything can happen. As long as you get in the dance. We've seen that with the Eagles in the past. We've seen that with the Phillies in the past. We've seen that with the Sixers to a degree, except they can't get past the second round. But nonetheless, the Waterdogs are in the dance, and they have a chance to compete for a championship, and that's what matters. Things I don't like for the Waterdogs, they're going into the postseason on a 4-game losing streak. After starting 4-2, they finished the year 4-6. I don't like that, okay? They have the talent to get things done. Michael Sowers is an MVP candidate. Kieran McCardle put up his 4th straight 30-plus point season this year. CJ Kirst is the real deal. And they have so many pieces, but to go into the postseason losing a game 20-19, the highest combined scoring PLL game in the history of the league, to lose the way that you did, to not have won a game since Chicago weekend, which was July 12th, so in nearly a month. Like, the Waterdogs are going into the playoffs where they have not won a game in over a month by the time that game is played. That's not great. So, I wish they could have won one of those games and, worked out some kinks there to kind of, hey, we can still win. It's not ideal. But everyone gets a week off. They get to reset. And it's going to be an exciting PLL playoffs. You get the Whipsnakes and the Waterdogs in the quarterfinals in the Eastern Conference, the Carolina Chaos and the California Redwoods on the Western Conference side of things, all for a date to meet the New York Atlas and Denver Outlaws, respectively, at Subaru Park in Philadelphia. And that's where things come into play for me. If you are the Philadelphia Waterdogs, you get a chance to compete to beat a conference rival in the Maryland Whipsnakes and go to Philadelphia, have a home game at a larger stadium than Villanova, in a place where you have won a championship, competed for another championship, and anytime you play there, it feels like a home game against another conference rival in the New York Atlas, who took 2 games from you this year. It's tough to beat a team 3 times. and you get to play in front of a home crowd with a chance to punch your ticket to another championship game. If the Waterdogs can figure out how to win again, okay, and win as a team, they are a dark horse squad to come out of the Eastern Conference. There's a lot of motivation for them. You know, win in Minnesota, you get to go home and play a home game in front of your home fans against a hated conference rival in the New York Atlas. And then, if you take down the number 1 seed, you get to go play up in North Jersey, which is very close to Philadelphia. Fans will travel. You prevent the New York Atlas from having a home championship game, and you get to compete for a championship against one of 3 teams that end up coming out of the West. It's an exciting time. I highly recommend August 23rd, September 1st, September 14th. Tune into the PLL postseason. It's going to be electric. I will be at Subaru Park for the semifinals, and I'll be at Sports Illustrated Stadium for the championship game. It's going to be absolute scenes. I can't wait for it. The PLL playoffs, there's nothing like it. Inject all the adrenaline and like pure vibes of like the baseball and hockey postseason. Crank it up. That's what the PLL playoffs are. It's just intense back and forth action nonstop for 48 minutes each game. So congratulations to the Waterdogs. First time in the Bill Tierney era getting to the postseason, and first time in the postseason again since 2023 after missing out in 2024. We'll see what they do on August 23rd against the Maryland Whipsnakes. That's all I got for you guys on this one. I know it's another short episode, but nonetheless, we will be back to some full-blown debauchery and longer episodes coming up shortly. This Wednesday, though, be sure to tune into our social channels because Harrison and I will be at Subaru Park for our very first Philadelphia Union game ever. He and I have never been to a Union game. We got tickets for the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinal against the New York Red Bulls, and we're sitting 5 rows off the field. I'm so excited, guys. Like, Wednesday night is going to be absolute scenes, and I'm so pumped to be able to finally take in a Philadelphia Union game at Subaru Park. I've been to Subaru Park a bunch of times for the PLL, never been there for a soccer game, and to see the Union up close and personal, Andre Blake, Bedoya, the Sullivan boys, and the rest of this squad up close and personal, I'm super pumped to be taking that in. So definitely follow us on the socials at Underground PHI because we're going to be posting up a storm from our seats at Subaru Park for the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire catalog of podcasts here on the network. And be sure to subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And smash that subscribe button. And this show, guys, is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Where did my ad go? Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. I still don't have that ad fully memorized, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Shout out to the city of Vineland and their continued support here at Underground. This has been episode number 767 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Catch you guys on the next one, breaking down everything with this Phil's series against the Cincinnati Reds upcoming, gearing up for that series against the Nationals down in D.C., recapping Harrison and I's first Philadelphia Union game, and whatever the hell else comes across the docket. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here. I'm going to try to get a morsel of sleep, but until next time, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I'm signing off. Peace.